Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Alright, we are back. Here we go. I'm excited for this one, because we're at the trial. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? What do I think? What do I think? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in two different places at the same time. Yeah, shit. How the fuck does that even happen? And different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Oh, Lana, hi. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. Oh, damn, it's loud. Let me turn it down. Shit. My bad. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So am I. So, how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth before this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Misguided. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department. The police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're gonna accuse Mr. Marshall. We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Guy? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. He's clearly not ready. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. Oh, so his body couldn't have been moved. Why is this so confusing? But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I have heard the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we proceed will reveal itself. Alright, Edgeworth, I see you, buddy. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait. Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Alright, here we go. Meekins! What's good, my brother? Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. This dude, oh my god. I don't think he's the murderer, but this shit. Oh my god. He's gonna fuck himself over. I gotta defend him right now. Yep. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again. Sir, you gotta believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is, sir, how would you like to call a part of the younger generation, sir? A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir. Oh my god, the sir curse. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am a part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Testimony time. Here we go. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you? Do unto to others before you do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Yeah, we've already heard this before. Mr. Meekins, you work in this General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes. Now there's a scary thought. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. There he is, the Blue Badger himself. God damn. I was here ensure it wasn't broken into during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. A pretty important mission, if I do say so myself, you know what I'm saying? I see, sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around. Then I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? I spotted a suspicious man on the screen and rushed into the room. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? There it is. I found it. This is the one right here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It is 4989596. Wait, hold on. Let me just check. So I think 498. Okay. So he was the last one. Bruce Goodman was the... Okay, so first one, we have no idea who that is. I think... Okay, Miles Edgeworth, we can assume that someone else was in the room at the same time as them then. Right? That'll probably be... What's his name? What's his name? One of them has to be, Detective Gumshoe, right? And the other one has to be Jake Marshall. I think. I see. Huh. But the number of 4989596 is shown as being used to... Oh wait, I didn't realize that. Wait. Please explain, witness. Hold up. I didn't realize that. Oh, the numbers were used twice. So there's some mystery number, 77777. I don't know who that is. Miles Edgeworth, Officer Meekins, Bruce Goodman, and then Officer Meekins again. So there's the first number is the one we don't know who it belongs to. The 7777777. 420. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time was when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room, and the second time I went to go get him after everything settled down. So is the first, what do you call it? Is the first ID number 7777777, whoever that is? That must be the true killer then, right? They hid in the room, I'm assuming. And then something happened, I'm not 100% sure what happened. But that's the only one there, so that has to be the true killer. At least I'm assuming, I'm not 100% sure. But we don't know who the ID number belongs to. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the screen. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got the gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. Okay, maybe add that to your testimony. Hold up, no, go back. What exactly do you mean when you said you did it? I know I don't look like the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched the knife from him. You took his knife. I spun around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. See, he must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood. And then, the next thing I knew, yes, he punched me right in my face, sir. Oh. So you swung the knife, accidentally cut your own hand, and then he beat the shit out of you. Alright, that makes sense. You don't look like the brightest fighter in the bunch. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. It's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badgers, sir. I returned to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. Yeah. I believe now we have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins? With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gunn delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief? Delivered it? What is that? Videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told that it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Alright, let's see it. It's probably going to be very vague. Probably not a lot of shit going on, but who gives a fuck? Any evidence we have is good enough. Oh, that's Detective Goodman, right? Oh, that's the glove! That's the glove! And that's the locker he opened, obviously. And that's, what's his name? Meekins. There's the Blue Badger just kind of waving around. Oh! Oh, wow, I just had to pan over right now. Wait, where the hell did he go? Okay, there's Meekins on the floor. Hold up. How can we know for sure that, what do you call it? Oh my god, bro, that was like nothing. And we didn't even see where he was after that. What if there was some guy disguised as Goodman? Nah, that's pretty stupid. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, it is the pride and joy in the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone. Yeah, so it could have been a disguise. A disguise to cover up a murder. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? What if he was actually killed, and placed in Edward's car and just, someone wore the uniform, pretending to be him, and came and attacked, and did something, in the police department, and then when, what's his name? Officer Meekins came, they attacked him right there. And then they disappeared because they left. But the dead body was found there, so it's confusing. This means there has to be a cover-up somewhere. There's something going on. I'm not completely sure what it is. Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. Mystery man. Alright, let's go. His face can't be clearly seen in the video. But there's no questioning that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do so. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. No, but his ID was lying on the floor, though. When we found it. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have had to be Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I'll have to start. Alright. Here we go. Alright, let's just quickly press him. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife? Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe it would be classified as the latter. The latter. But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir. But I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see? Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I put my badge on it. You probably don't want to do that. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it, since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Why is everyone looking at me? If I were to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins. Having been shown questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claimed that the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. I mean, he opened the locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do so. Yeah. About these lockers, is there no way to open... no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must have then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir. And this too. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the people in the know, sir. People in the know. The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. Okay. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. so the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir, please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust the knife into my body, sir. My unsettled estate can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? Let me just check. Regarding the video contained on the tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. This contradiction leads it to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? The video contains such a contradiction? Wait, I should have watched the video, goddammit. I think I know what the contradiction is. You can also open the things with your ID, right? Can you fast forward? Bro, I want to fast forward. Okay, whatever. You can also open the things with your ID. Let me just check. He might have used his ID to open it. I don't like how it's so slow and you can't fast forward, but I guess it's fine. Did he open it with his ID? I don't know. Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to an alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, thank you! Rewind or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Thank you, thank you. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates this man may not have been Detective Goodman? That was... okay. Fast forward. So we can rewind. Okay. Okay, that's helpful. Can we slow it? No, he definitely used his fingerprint. Oh my god, of course this is perfectly... The coat! No, play. Pause, oh my god, you... The thing that's strange about this video would have to be, this. Hold on a second, I need to use my eye drops. Well, I don't get it. Would you mind if I borrowed your eye medicine? Don't look at me with those bleary eyes. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this through again. Now, what do I do? Play a video then. Very well. Let's try this again. Just remember one thing, Mr. Wright. Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt. Says the one pointing his finger at us. I will now play the security here. Ah, this is... So they have the same coat and the same gloves as... what's her name? Lana. But that can't be Lana. The knife? The knife, maybe? Wait, let me just watch this a little. No, don't read. Let me just watch this a little more. Okay, so I can pause buffer. That's kinda cool. Oh. No. This? Maybe. I'm stuck. Okay, there we go. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Oh my god. Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point? What you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates, the man may not be Detective Goodman. Yeah, the thing had Lana's gloves falling out. Oh yeah. Whew. I almost walked right into the defense's trap. I'll place him under arrest, sir. Rats. I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. What do I do? Oh my god. How many times exactly do I have to watch this video? By this guy. There's nothing else. I actually can't find it out. What the hell is this? Wait a second. Hold up. Go back. Why is this already on? The light is already on. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir. Do you mean me, sir? Yeah, you're wrong, but there's something else. As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. You grab a handle that sends to read your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Yeah, the light's already on. That means the locker was already on. Up. I'm not up. Unlocked. That's what I meant. When the victim reaches for that handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. What is this annoying ass music in the back? Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit? Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already opened before the victim grabbed the handle. Yes! Order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a sensor is triggered, and the lock is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor. Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor. Yes, well, see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like gem the system sensor? The glove gem system sensor. Did I say sister sensor? I meant system sensor. Something gem the sensor, say? The glove, it has to be the glove. There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well. Let's inspect the video once more. I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what it is. The locker room wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Please point out the... Whatever. Okay, I know what it is. Don't worry. I know what it is. It has to be the glove. I missed. There. Please watch me. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Yes. That's how we do it. That's how we do it in the Phoenix Wright town, girl. Bring it on, bitch. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. Sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open. I often fall out and roll at great distances when you open my cat door. See, we can't be sure. That item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. Or something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door. Inserted? Yes, the glove. The white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would need to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene? There just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defendant please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? Easy shit. Where is it? Where's it at? Boom! Boom! I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has the tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir. Order! So we are to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Don't be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated the possibility and nothing more. The victim in this video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir. Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. Alright, then let's do this shit. Mystery Man 2. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, you must use their ID card. When the ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. It was also at the crime scene, though. An ID card record. I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Who is 77777777? We have to figure that out first. Then we can find out who the another suspect is. Just before the crime, huh? Yes, without a doubt, the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transfer. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on the edge. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were put up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move to the cross-examination. Okay, here we go. Mystery Man 2. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V or victory sign, sir. We need to use his right hand for that. Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my hot car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card shook. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. Let it be noted that the record the witness referring to... Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Bro, why me? Shh, don't stare at him. You got the wrong color, kid. It would seem. The inquiry committee want to speak with you again. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue this examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he was panicked? Everything stems from contradictions, so let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is hard to obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got. This?
Objections!
Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. He couldn't have used his card because the victim's card was at the, what do you call it? Was at the place. I forgot what it's called. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. Yeah, the other crime scene. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report? It's only half completed. But it shows that the victim had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe there's something to his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. I knew it! I knew it was someone, disguised as Detective Goodman. I'm so goddamn smart. See this shit? Order! 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 Does the prosecution have a response? I am tapped out and can't tap back in. I always tap out occasionally to check if my OBS is still recording, so I don't lose any footage. I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man the evidence from Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room is already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes? What's he up to? He's Edgeworth. That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim's video is a fake, then the murder in this evidence room is also a fake. The security camera does not show the instant of the murder. Oh, that is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, it seems you finally realized. Exactly, what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already been explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Salon Sky, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Oh shit, that's not good. I think we accidentally just dug her grave even further. No! I knew that testimony was a bit too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did the person disappear to? However, the trial's purpose is to examine only one murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Object. Objections! One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? The cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Yeah. My question is, where did he randomly just disappear? Are we just gonna watch this entire thing? However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of this matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses would be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Marshal! Mr. Wright, do you mean, Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. Oh, so is the ID card number 7777777777777 whatever? Does that belong to Marshall? Why would he have a police ID though? He's not part. What do you call it? He's not a detective anymore. He was fired, wasn't he? Truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you have testified. What is his or her name? Where is he? Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. In charge of the evidence room, I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. Oh yeah, he does work in the police department, so what do you call it? He does have a police ID. He was able to access it. So is the 7777 number his? The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is supponent. Will the prosecution please prepare witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Go! There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Can you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. No, don't come back later, I need to hear you. Oh. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal. Being a detective all around while on duty. And stop it up, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey! 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 I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh! Oh ho! Oh ho ho! Oh ho ho! Oh ho 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 ho! You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here. You might do well to read that. I can't believe it. You, the Chief Prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murderers. Or what? Now that I brought your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? But why? Why is your name here? What? My name's in there. I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana. This SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification murder number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Darkey killings. The Joe Darkey. No. No, Lana. That's over with. No! Emma, wait! She ran away. You know, I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. How about I'm out of here? Detective Gumshoe, bro. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at his file. Okay, I did pretty good, actually. I did actually pretty good. Oh, no! Okay, hopefully we're getting back into trial right after this, because I honestly did pretty good. I was not expecting to do that good already. Trial ladder, alright. We're just getting right back into the trial then. Okay, there we go. Alana's not here though. Not Lana, what's her name? Emma. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. What is he drinking? Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross the intersections when needed. Get it? Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. Yeah. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear it a howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it is Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime, on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime, in plain old English. Here we go, day of the crime, witness testimony. My job was to keep a wary eye on the bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent man, so if you're out MO, it's time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. Goddamn, you just gonna really try to flame the judge like that? What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security camera and the ID card reader. Even a cowpoke like you knows about that. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprints activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickey are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Alright. Cross-examination time. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time got in there. I was just the caretaker who interred the room. The recordings. You interred them? Videos are nothing. Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is reported, tapes are to be erased in 6 hours. Each time I'd erase the tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you didn't enter the evidence room. Well, he did physically enter the evidence room. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No, desperado. I know, let's, rules, get in the way. No desperados. I know, join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. That's wrong! There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I haven't been in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? Hold up. I know what inconsistency is. I'm just gonna press him on everything else, just in case I don't make a mistake. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a goldmine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite, incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that, too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not every angel's lunches can beat the parlor's vongole seppi pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually what it says. Did you not want a raise this year? Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd best keep my cool. Before I use it though, I'd better up the ante. No, it's not here. Oh no, I got it wrong. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness statement? I'm not sure I followed. It clearly contradicts the, I thought... You don't sound very convinced, Mr. Wright. Objection overruled. Bro, I get penalized for, what do you call it? Every false objection. Yet Edgeworth says he objects something because it was objectionable, and he gets away with it. I don't know. Maybe I objected the wrong one. This one. Objection! Okay, there we go. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd that is you being called in to testify like this? After all, you were in the security room at the time of the crime, and yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or, to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, I make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprint would be in there. I only wish it were. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprint were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene. The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall, it seems to me there ain't a person in the room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place at the as the bloodstain fingerprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know that the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. No, that's wrong, because we saw, what it looks like with gloves. The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Here we go. Bloodstained fingerprints. That's because how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if the prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from the locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock this time without ever knowing it. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker's covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. So one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward with me for a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? The bloodstains and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Unrelated? They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast while the other is a type of murderer. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Well, whatever. How did you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain on the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, the fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah. We tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture. The seal of blood. In the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. So long as my trial isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera is panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, if you can show us the evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Please do so now, you say. You reckon. What the hell is this? Okay, the incident is closed. Oh! What the hell is this? Who's Nail Marshall? Who the hell is Nail Marshall? Is he like, what do you call that, part of, is he like related to, what's his name? Marshall, the Marshall who's in our courtroom right now? He would have had a motive then, right? If this is, but we have to find out how this is related to SL9. And Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, yeah. Lana Skye, Emma Skye. I mean, there's no evidence in the video. I might be walking right into Officer Marshall's trap. I better try and find out a little more information. It seems we should be moving back to the testimony. Very well. Officer Marshall, can you please give us your testimony? Oh, was I told to do that? I'm looking at the video again. Nothing much here. Why can't we fast it forward? There's the man. There's the dude. Nothing weird right now. And they're fighting, yeah. Still nothing though. He's laying there. I'm looking at the video. I don't think there's anything weird with it. Wait, what the hell is that? Hold up. There is something wrong. Did you see that white cloth that just appeared there? Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Try it carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Sure, yep. Alright. I know what it is. But let's just fast forward. There was a white piece of cloth. I saw it, but it wasn't there before. Yeah, they're fighting. The white cloth's still not there. Bring our attention back to the security camera. It's a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly see, clearly be seen in the video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. There it is, the mysterious walking clock. Look at that shit. The lock with the white cloth is sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Look at that shit. See, I'm actually doing good now. I was doing so bad last episode, but I'm actually doing good now. Oh, the white cloth, it's gone. What is this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There was only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Oh, we got you in deep shit, Officer Marshall. Order. It would seem that only hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? Well, you are. Only fingerprints can open the lockers. The guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. Oh yeah, he does. He actually doesn't know. He doesn't know how the lockers work, doesn't he? I hate to rain on your parade. but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker? Now prove it. Fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The locker can't be opened by the detective they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In many cases, the locks aren't that obvious. Some people that, of course, that don't know about the fingerprint locks. And that was one of them was Officer Marshall. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say? In 8 words or less. Put that little shit on the spot like that. Let's fuck go. I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! Well, that was less than 8 words. Order, order, order. Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Ole, please answer the question. What is he now? A bullfighter? That's right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? You're not telling me. You're not telling me. Officer Marshall was standing right here. So Officer Meekins didn't know anything there. That's almost as credible as Meekins' work theory. Your chamber's empty, partner. Better reload. Oh no! I thought he was disguised as Officer. I thought he was disguised as Detective Goodman. Now they're ganging up on me. Perhaps you should think a little more about where Officer Marshall was. Officer Meekins should have seen him in the evidence room. That means the only place he could have been would be... Well then, let's hear it. So it couldn't have been... They're both here. And, Meekins didn't see, Oh! I accidentally clicked killer. Was I supposed to click victim? Officer Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Okay, I clicked the wrong one. I thought he was disguised as, what do you call it? I knew he was disguised as Detective Goodman, but I accidentally clicked killer because, you know, because Detective Goodman was the attacker, that's why. Or the guy disguised as Detective Goodman, so I got confused. But what I meant to click was the person representing Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in that video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's, preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes? And how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Something about that officer's story puzzled me. If the man had had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, that I get. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? Aw shit, we've got him on the spot. We've got quite imagination, partner. We've got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it? You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complain. Bro, you already said that. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see that fear in your eyes, partner. Seems like you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Edgeworth, it looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. We run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for that Officer Marshall wasn't disguised, but rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. What do you think this locker... Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. He did, despite the chance he might be discovered later as it has been, which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. But the fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness... Bro. What did he say? The blood. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman. Entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Okay, so all we have to do is check his locker then, right? Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent as you were today, we all wouldn't have to be here now. Now, would we? SL9 incident? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. Alright. It seems the time has come. His confession? Alright. Are we gonna have to find holes in his confession? I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas would be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Oh, that's it? So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. There was way too much blood for such a small donation. Okay. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with a transferal that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? Yeah, I just realized, when looking at this thing, well, we realized it together, but look, victims, Neil Marshall. Is that like, what do you call it, his dad, his brother, like who is that? Some of his family was murdered, so that's why he cares about the case so much. That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? As if I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal. I'd be arrested for stealing evidence which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to full security camera. And the detective's card. I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. Essentially, managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean, the fingerprint. Activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because he had a rubber glove and just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a one-of-a-kind type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. When did Edgeworth give so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me, and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry I had to turn out that way. Me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you cut him with the same one you trim your beard with. So you knocked Officer Meekins out. So you did your research beforehand. Those who got into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased everywhere, every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, the footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So you were saying, we're saying it's on the day. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicate a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on the tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. You stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer, this is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. I got myself some rugza and water, alright, let's get on. Like I said, this isn't your case, this one's mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. But the case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Darke was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember that Joe Darke case. It involved serial murderers, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Something that went down the trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's why I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. It'd be better to take another look at the files. I mean, it has to be this. His, what do you call it? His, relative's name is right here. Whoever. I'm guessing this is relative, at least.
Objection!
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL incident file right here. The name, Marshall, is mentioned in here. And a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard that name. 2 years ago. Oh, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right, he was killed. And that case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. Oh, so it was his brother. I'm guessing older brother? He was investigating the murder with Damon Gant, the then deputy chief of police. The group of detectives I was a part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Darke. My brother fought Darke and was killed. That was the first time Darke left behind any evidence, but that was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, at least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed off by Joe Darke. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? there's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could have been reopened. But this is not just like, but in a way this is really similar to the DL6 incident from Case 4. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, the mystery has finally been figured out. No murder took place at the police department that day. Oh my god, are we serious? Edward, don't do this. The things that happened by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, I think murder was going at the police department. A chance? It's got to be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Scott. But wait, the verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of this simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Scott. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Starr is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. I rest my case. It seems the trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake, but I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Oh? Oh! Emma! Your Honor, wait! Emma? The defense has an objection. Scientific objection. Okay. Let's see. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? Oh, in a sense, please, Your Honor. All I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. Okay. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Darkey killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of the Sky Sisters were in the file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again. So, did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry. I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with the blood on it will be. Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I need to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? Let's get it first. So wrong one was the other one. I'll have the other one. I object. I don't know why, but I object. Come on now. This handprint left of the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. I mean, maybe. Who knows? The only thing that seems clear is you're grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intensely at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something missing in the floor plans? Which item? I don't know. Oh, this. As they say back west, even a blind man can hit with a buckshot. That is, so long as he's facing the general direction. It seems Mr. Wright's not sure which direction to face. It's no use. The more evidence there is, the greater chance of me being wrong. There's so much stuff. Just calm down, Mr. Wright. Try and remember what the evidence room was like on the day of the crime. What is about this blood mark? Please allow me another chance, Your Honor. I'll prove it this time. Let us pray. Yeah. So it's not this. I don't know what is missing. This thing? This thing. Where is it? This thing. What about the piece of plywood? The blue badger. Mascot of the police force. Defender of truth. Guardian of proof. Oh my god. I got it wrong, guy. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Oh, did I get it right? I might have gotten it right, actually. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The blue badger is not here. So what happens when we put him in? This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? That's right. So long as the blue badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at the spot on the locker. Oh! Alright. I didn't catch that. I just thought maybe they could, like, sneak behind it. So, that means, just exactly what does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on the locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, you can get through scientifically. Emma, on that afternoon... Why is Emma there all of a sudden? She... so Emma came to the witness stand, then just went to my stand, and then, what do you call it? The sheriff went back to the witness stand? Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on the locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the blue badger was brought in. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled, not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time... Yeah, the blue badger is there. I didn't think the blue badger would be related to this mystery at all, but here we are. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. Huh? So he was murdered in the he was actually murdered in the police department? That's ridiculous. I refuse your absurd claim. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. Damn, we're just exchanging objections now. So then, assuming there's a murder really happened... Well, I didn't read that. Well, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well. Then tell us, when did the first incident occur? As Mr. Edwards had said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? This is the proof. It's quite simple, you see. If it's so simple, then don't get it wrong. Huh? How was acceptable? It was an acceptable excuse. We wouldn't need police. The first crime took place before the blue badger was brought to the room, right? Say, when was the blue badger brought there anywhere? Don't we have a chart listing a bunch of times for something? Oh! Where is it? Oh, it's there. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh! The ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Huh? Miles Edgeworth, so what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminal test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officers Meekin and Officer Marshall failed to note the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean out the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 777777. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used before, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. So all we have to do is find out who owns the 777777, ID number, and then we're good. We found out who the murderer is, right? You went in with 77777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look at this into the ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777777. That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of the ID card. At least, at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. Is it the chief? Is the chief the killer? No, I didn't want it to be the chief. The chief was such a chill guy, bro. But that's ridiculous. Just help. I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. Is the chief the killer? Is this man... Where is he? Do we have his image? Okay, we don't have his image. Is the chief really the killer? Bro, I love the chief though. Why did he have to be the killer? There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted, an official charge. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries, that's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshal. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander? Is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 7777777. Don't play with me for a full partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about the incident. Just the SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really use legitimate evidence? Lana. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for the trial. At the time, we occasionally the powerlessness of law. At least, I did. Lana? I became a prosecutor in order to suppress the crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I shall ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During the trial 2 years ago, did you really present all evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshal. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in order to get for him to get the verdict he deserved. So they forged evidence. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence, what? See? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, well, so is Joe Darkey the killer or not? I didn't know. Okay, so apparently this the SL9 case was the verdict was delivered with forged evidence. No. No! Edgeworth didn't even know about it. It was the chief prosecutor who did it. Order, 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 order! Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Yeah, not even the judge could command order. We might need the bailiff in here. Okay, then. I didn't expect that shit. Well, if it was as big as of a murder case as they claimed, then of course people are going to be outraged when they find out that there was forged evidence in it. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. Yeah, I got myself a little bit more raw, so just so we could. Because, what do you call me? My throat's starting to hurt a little from screaming so much. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to get in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Dark A killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark A convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all in the file. Joe Dark A's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he was murdered, Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark A tried to kill me. Okay, so Joe Dark A was the killer in the in the SL9 incident. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So he sacrificed himself to save Emma. So that means you... Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark A trial. I didn't see that one coming. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, the terrifying man came bursting into the office, Joe Dark A. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark A tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out, suddenly. A bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture. I don't remember the moment when Dark A stabbed Mr. Marshall, so you weren't able to testify about that. No, I was only asked about it when I was attacked. That must be why Lana... Well, she made up the crime. Made it up. You mean, provided bogus evidence. The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? So Edgeworth didn't intentionally use it, but he used forged evidence. Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became so cold, like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Dark A knocked down Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. You've been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. Why the hell did the judge look like Dick Gray? I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies, and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma so tick. What makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor. Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Darkey had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. It was happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. When did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective's offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator. Alana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Darkey case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective. I'd better have another talk with her. Right. Let's go talk with her. Lana? Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Nuh-uh, not at all. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul, why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer into the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today. Not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one, 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well. Though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. Like, trial. It really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant. He was the deputy chief of the police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filmed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 incident was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was second in command for the detectives investigating Darkey. Second in command. That means the investigation led was Damon Gant, right? Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case there was Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Darkey was the serial killer. We asked him to come for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from the Darkey. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us? Damon Gunn and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dake that day. The investigation was in its final stage and Dake must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gunn and Marshall left the dead guards down and then fled the room. From there he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gunn and myself. That's where he found me. So you were their first person to run to the scene, Lana. It appears so. I was filling some papers while Gunn and Marshall were questioning Dake. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. Is that 3? 3 bodies. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect Joe Dake. During the struggle, it seemed Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dake had incurred a minor concussion and they lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dake under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident. That's right. Quite a coincidence, I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in the trial was also involved in that incident, just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went extreme because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dake. Life doesn't end with this closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dake at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gunn and I shared. The office that Mr. Gunn now occupies by himself, the chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office. The site of the final SL9 murder. Alright. Murder! Let's go. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. The chief of detectives seem the same though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right? We can come back here later. I was looking for... Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall. I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Pues, Sarah. You never know where life will head you, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do prospectors head west? If there was ever a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean, fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean the switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dake's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there is a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. That scars that the SL9 incident left behind. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I just hadn't made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? Your brother. He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the king of prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transfer. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to seal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently, someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all know that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. The star was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambino. I'm Gant and Lana Sky. The investigation led Damon Gant and his second-in-command, Lana Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of the duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, I must have said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict, but someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Okay, that's interesting. You know what? The more I look into this case, the more I think Damon Gant is the killer. I think Damon Gant is the one who murdered Goodman. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Okay. No one's here today, not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where detectives are. But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case, but instead it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow. Mr. Edgeworth isn't here. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee. He took a real beating in court today. Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago. I guess we all have to come back later. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. This must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Oh, thanks. Wow, you actually talked, boss. With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do. About Mr. Edgeworth not to mention our statement to the media and tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those trials. Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the elevator, to the other building, and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Bro, why'd you have to say that, Emma? Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. Alright, let's just go. Yo, it looks pretty cool, actually. God damn, is that a grand piano? Very vampire-y. Whoa, where am I? In the chief's office, silly. At least, that's what it said on the door. Check out that organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Batch. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. I never could remember what C was. There he is, the man, the myth, the Gant. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading on his desk. So, Righto, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too, with Miss Marshall's misconduct, and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement. Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? There's Neil, Lana, the trophy in the back. Not the trophy, the vase in the back. The same thing that was like shattered on the floor in the what do you call it? The evidence room. Yeah, there it is. What the hell's that thing? Yeah. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to our commemorative our work together. Something's not right with this picture. The thing in the back, yes. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it though. Come on. And of course he's just gonna blankly be silent. No blinking though. Anyway, I like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm gonna lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh, but this office. It was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has been long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we'd like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Yeah, the way he broke character. Yeah, he's acting real suspicious. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. And now he's just gonna act cheerful like he never did that. Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over yet, after all. What do you mean? Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief's office. Okay, obviously nothing here. Oh, Gumshoe! Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe. Aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. A breather. A breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No, why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. This guy's in the guilty party, isn't she? We're going this, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this, there are really so many people who hate him. In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to the joint sometime. Okay, Dick? Yes, sir. It seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yes, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all that pressure. I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. He seemed genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Darkay left behind during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? Me? Seems Detective Dumbshoe realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it has something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never failed to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Joe Darko was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman. What made him take to serial killing? One day, on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car, so it was an accident? An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed the man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed the lady who saw the second crime. The kid walked by, so he killed them too. Okay. The drugger came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. Seems like he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in. Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. The crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily, Darkay was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness, aka Emma. So is that it? No one here. I've been studying up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth. Presentation to think people are accusing him of injustice. I don't want to look at the case from Mr. Edgeworth. It was a pretty big deal while it was going on. After all, the serial killer was on the loose. Bro, my game's lagging so much. What's going on? But Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Darkay guilty. About this. Hey, is that... It has a tag attached to it, with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, it suddenly disappeared from the locker. And was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. Okay, tell quick. This knife. It was Joe Darkay's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well, anyway. And take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Darkay's knife? You bet. Down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gaunt. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief ran out. The chief's out now, and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around, if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What? Really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh, sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. Well, I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is. It looks like he's writing something. Edgy! What are you doing here? Your door was unlocked, bro. He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it will break down to, and nothing I do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified? The police department and prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If the bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. The fact remains the same no matter what excuse I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep his kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you have to do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists. That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became the prosecutor for the case. I may not have always been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Used the evidence I was given to prove the suspect's guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture. Something seemed strange about it. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? Or participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this. Those receiving awards can't exactly on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odd clerical stuff. I plan on returning to the office that day. That is, I suppose that's to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Grant asked you to hold that, didn't he? What is that? AI-15. There was a piece of evidence in a case that closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to. That's right. That's pretty much it then. Okay. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Grant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken away. This was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes, the trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design. Story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. Oh. Is that it? Alright, sure. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why didn't you tell it, though? For Emma's sake. Very well. Yeah, he clearly doesn't know. Alright, Edward, spill it. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd. He claimed it could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Objection! Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very description of these items discredited them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. Bro, we really just objected something out of a trial. And thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize... Okay, I don't know why the game had to get all epic on me all of a sudden. Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's item. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow. Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. Alright, thanks. Excuse me? Ah, there you are. I could use a lunch right now, actually. Would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef? Miss Star, I guess she's out of lunch. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Oh, okay. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence for that case was. Due to transferal, this can be attributed to a coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene I happened to witness? The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife? No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Miss Star's hatred towards Lana. It all dates back to the 2 years ago. Joe Darke. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something overtook Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 incident. And of course, they were led by the legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gaunt. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean, with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, the Dark Egg got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used? Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant led the investigation with Lana in second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean... Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him though. I take it she's forged evidence. Back then everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes. Myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall? When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have recovered from his shock. That's what makes this all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn out so cold after that? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case he positioned, Chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control. And then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? I mean, that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude. There must have been a reason for her change. At last. I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. So now what? Oh, you're back. You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means Desk jockey. Oh, that DJ. I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer is still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'll be on my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Lagging so much! Oh, hopefully it's better now. I have nothing to really talk about. Floor plans, rubber glove. This? Wait, but isn't this related to the case? Remember, you said so yourself. So I did. Oh, did we finally get it? Chief Gann gave this to you that day, didn't he? He asked you to bring it here to the police department. That chief is a very competent man, but sometimes he does things that don't make any sense. At least it's better than being incompetent and doing things that don't make sense. A certain detective comes to mind. What is this? Edgeworth? I wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distract him. I'll check it out. Oh, hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on. First let me see what that girl's doing crawling around my feet. They didn't even look. What? Letter for If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. Resignation. Edgeworth, you don't mean I'm tired, right? No, Edgeworth! I feel as if something inside me has died. But then who's gonna be my rival? But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been just one. I can't forgive myself for doing what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. What if we give it to you? Take that! What's this crumpled up piece of paper? Uh-oh. No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious. Is he ever not serious? I can't believe this. They would push him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too. But I know different now. We trusted the detective to provide him with sound evidence. But we just betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I made up my mind. But here, take my ID card. We can't do that. If someone found out, they wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright. Detective, thank you. Okay. So now we can go here. Here goes, Mr. Wright. Here we are. We're in. If anyone finds us now, Detective Gumshoe is a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Oh, this happened again. She thought you were a ghost, Gumshoe. Sorry. I thought you were a ghost. Yeah, we've been here before. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point of giving us your ID card? Gumshoe's ID card crushed and rendered unusable in pocket. Hey, don't do that to my card. I hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have to look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out. I've got a bad feeling about this. Okay. Examine time. This is a safe, isn't it? Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. I wonder. A 7-digit number. I think I just might know what it is. Do you know what it is? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birthday. I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Hold up, let me check the code records. So the IDs are 7. Let's just try 7777777. SL9. It actually worked! Bro, that was... What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? 7777777. The final ID card number on the record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered that the room that day. You mean 7777777? That ID number? I think you're 1-7 shy this time. That can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. So Chief Gant is the killer. Say, anyone care to look inside? The desk on the other side of the room. Was that your sister's? Yes. That's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. Wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at a New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see. So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk? No one except Chief Gant. And the cleaning lady who's in here every morning. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came in here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah. You wouldn't be. No. What do you mean, no? What? No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now then, let's look around a bit more. Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy. Huh? What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to stop bothering you, pal. I knew he would say that. You don't just let go at that. Sorry, this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you? I do! What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him? Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do you think of him? Perhaps it's best if I don't divulge my feelings yet. There you go, ignoring me again. Okay, let's examine. It's starting to get laggy. Okay, there we go. Look at that giant window. Makes you want to crash it through and jump outside. This is the 15th floor. I know, I was just saying. Saying what? Ever since making detective, I always dreamed of doing something like that. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams. So as long as he doesn't go pushing through that window, when he gets fired. Don't say that. This was taken a day 2 years ago. This day, Joe Dake ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma. After receiving his award fee, Mr. Marshall took a picture here. Then we went along with Chief Gunn to question Dake. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later. Gee, you think? These shelves are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office. There are small picture frames on the left shelf. Hey! This is when Lana and I went to that theme park. This was Lana's desk. It sure is tidy. Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner. There's not even any dust on it. It looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Does Lana ever come back here? No. She must keep it clean in memory of their partnership. Their worst stuff legends are made out. Does he keep it in memory of her or in memory of the crime? That's pretty. I think I've gotten everything in here. The chief's organ sure is a sight to behold. Occasionally, we hear him playing it from the criminal affairs department. That's on the second floor, and this is the 15th floor of an entirely different building. When a detective screws up, the chief calls them to his office and makes them listen to the organ for hours. What's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul. After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except the ringing in their ears. So it's an instrument of punishment, literally. But aren't the chief's ears affected? He never listens to anyone anyway. That's besides the point. Okay, so... Wow, look at the size of Chief Gunn's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier... Oh, it's you two. Chief Gunn. He put that paper he was reading on the desk. I wonder what he was reading. This looks like a list of evidence. A list of evidence? In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though. Hey, look at the case name. Huh? SL9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? I said, I wonder what. No, about evidence lists. Normally, they're twice as long. I guess there was a lot of evidence. A half-size list of evidence. The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about that case. It would appear so. Wow! Look at the size of Chief Gunn's desk. We found this inside the drawer. A list of evidence from the SL9 incident. Mr. Edgeworth had the other half of the list. What would this list be doing here? We better look into this a little. We better look a little more into this list. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and the weapons. Sure, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayers' dollars must have gone into this room? What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm paying 1 cent of my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay. Shh! Be careful of what you say. Who knows? The chief may be hiding this armor as we speak. I don't think he'd fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get it back out. Cut it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy can be. Well, I sure as hell do. You can see pretty far from 15 stories up. If you were to drop that sewer here, at first the chief wanted us to use stained glass for the windows. Really? Why didn't he? They say he changed his mind because he wouldn't be able to see here. Oh. Stained glass or not, it's a huge window. Okay, so nothing else. So, this is the last thing. Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away? Look, it's the last part of the broken cup. A shot from a broken cup. This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else here. What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth. And there's a handprint on it. This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. Do you think the chief had up the design? I don't think so. Oh. Well, it was just a thought. Is that it? This is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it. And a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence. Yeah, but unless you can prove they have anything to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great. Now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident? Come on, there's got to be something we can show the detective. What should we show him? The handprint? You know Sir Marshall? Of course I do. He was like a mentor to me. When I first started out, he even gave me a small cactus. Really? He said, Dick, she'll listen to all your problems. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe talks to a cactus. Hard to believe he's just a patrolman now. Someone ought to trade places with him. What? Why are you looking at me like that? This? Detective Gumshoe. Could you have another look at this jar? I remember when the three of us put that back together. Those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case? That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment that we just found? You mean this one? That was in the safe? Yes, that one. That was in the safe. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Shows what a rookie can do. Mr. Wright, here's some glue. If I can piece this together again, it'll prove that Chief Gunn was knowingly hiding evidence. Well, how do we just have it all of a sudden? Here goes. I don't know. Ace Attorney logic. It's this way. Now, what did I just do? Don't do that! Idiot, I clicked the wrong button! But I have to. Well, I need a breather. I'll try again later. You know, I'll switch our eye drops with my special solution. No, again. Are you Alright, let me try this again. Replace it. There we go. I always click the wrong button. There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gunn was willingly and knowingly hiding a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But, guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece you just attached is different from the others. Oh, that's blood. That is blood. There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line? That's blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gunn hide this in a safe? Well, what if we search for more blood? Hold on, there has to be blood here somewhere. Oh! Look what I found. Whoa! This area has been covered in blood. Is this from that incident? Must be. When prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. 2 years have passed, so the reaction is kind of dull. So a murder will take place here. Come on, there has to be something else. This is kind of confusing. Oh, what the hell is this? I wonder what this is. It looks like someone drew something kind of sketch here. Yeah, it's a very mischievous looking sketch. What is it? Did you find something? I can't make it out. I better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing. Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright? I better not forget about this picture. I got me some ice cream. I'm back. That's what the chick was reading before, isn't it? You know, when we first came in here. Yeah, it looks like the right side of the form has been torn off. So Mr. Edgeworth's list really was half of the whole thing. Something else is bugging me more than that. Take a look at the back of that form, pal. The back? No, I know. I already checked it. Alright, you know, I got myself you already know I got myself a huge bowl of mango jelly. I love mango jelly. God damn. You can't go wrong with it. It's some of the best jelly you'll ever have. But either way, let's continue. We should test the fingerprints on the cloth. Pickle Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. And while I have a nice bite of my jelly. Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints? The hell is that? Oh no, it's just... That's a great idea, detective. Go to town, sheesh. I took a short break and ate all the mango jelly. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints that we want to take. Huh? Come on, this isn't the time of jokes. We were talking about that cloth we found in the safe. Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's your sense? Right. Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Now, once they've been absorbed in the prints, blow the rest away. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get it over with. Alright. What did I just do? Oh. I remember. We just gotta kinda, you know. No, are you serious? I think I'd like to try one of the other fingerprints. Okay, let's move on to another fingerprint. Oh, stop! What? I'm not clicking in. But you know, I'll go with the thumb then. Fuck you. Wow, this game just hates me. There we go! That's the worst fingerprint I've ever seen. I gave it my best shot. That's that kind of result won't be good for any matching prints, will it? But it doesn't look like we'll get a clearer result from this print. Alright, let's try another finger then. But I tried another finger last. Okay, fine. Let's try the middle finger, because that's what I want to give this game. This game gives my middle finger a big bone. I'm kidding. I love this game. So what do you call it? I love Ace Attorney. Alright, I'm joking. It just pisses me off a little, but apart from that, it's amazing. Please don't hit back. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, what? Emma Sky? Emma Sky? No. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be darkest prints. Hey, you over there. What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Here, maybe you should hold on to this. Okay, there we go. Well, was I any help? Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now, that's not very kind. Oh my god. Gant! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Hi there. Isn't that right? You in the code. Wait, Chief Gant. We didn't think you'd be back soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in science. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out the window and saw a stray dog running to a pole. Just then I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, you in the code. Me, sir? Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir. Oh. Now get out. Man. Yes, sir. We'll be on our way to then. Wait. You. The one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet. You with the spiky hair. You're free to go. Mr. Wright. No! Emma, run! Emma, run! Look, pal. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence Gunn was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why has she kept it eerily silent about it all this time? Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try smooth things over with it again. Later, pal. Alright. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions. So she'll be busy for the rest of the day. Hi, Lana. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow is the final day in court. I'm committing to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced that you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term you use, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so, because of a certain individual. What intrigued me? A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting person? Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom I may ask is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly frightened of. What is this person's name? Well, Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor? Do not forget your place. I take it she's not really ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would you try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Gant. Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have been possibly tampered with the evidence was me. I had access because I'm second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other thing. Damn Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. I found this in a safe in the chief's office. The jar piece, this piece of cloth. You know what these are? The pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief himself. Now tell me, why are you taking the blame for it? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you summarized, I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In the murder of Detective Goodman? Or perhaps I should say follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside of the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. So that's why she was a suspect, just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk lock was broken, and I discovered that the murder weapon was while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Chip Darkay's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that's the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Yes, it seemed that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. Then, she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. I'm back, just have to get some groceries in, you know what I'm saying? The star, huh? Why did you need to hide Darkay's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Darkay case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that, by whatever means possible. So, you hid it. Darkay's knife. The weapon used to stab Detective was evidence in the Joe Darkay case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have had a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone to force on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma was so confident. Also, Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about this one, about one of them that day. A bad feeling. The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to prominent Jake Marshall. To Marshall, why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for a SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him after all that time. However, it seems after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade on his own. Oh, you mean, not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubt he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further until tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. Oh shit. I've been recording for almost 4 hours now. I've been recording for just 3 hours and 45 minutes. Okay, well. Alright, I'm gonna stop right there, alright? If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Bye for now.